Hands up, everyone. Hello, guys. As you can see, I can't raise up my hands. You see. Welcome back, guys. You can see my hands on this dress. I am the one that is determining how high my hands can go. Welcome back to my channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. As you can see today, actually I'm going to be dealing with this issue. You can see I can't raise up my hands. It just cannot wave. So today, actually, I'm going to be teaching you how to shape a perfect armhole. At the end of this video, you will be able to shape your armhole perfectly. That you'll be able to raise your hands up as high as possible. So that is actually what I'm going to be teaching you today on this video. Like I said, if you find this video helpful, please don't hesitate to hit on the like button. If you are new, please subscribe, like this video, share this video, comment. Like I said, please like this video. It actually makes me to know you appreciate what I do. So that is actually the essence. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to be losing this hand, and then I'll show you how to shape your armhole perfectly, that you'll be able to raise your hands and you'll be able to twist and turn however. So let's go. All right, welcome back, guys. So I'm actually going to be pointing out some of the reasons why this dress I actually could not raise up my hands. And as you can see the armhole. You can see this is the front and then this is the back. You can see both of them are the same. You can see the back and the front are the same. It's not supposed to be so. The front actually is supposed to be a little bit inner, like half an inch, than the back part. That is one of the reasons why I could not raise up my hands. And then the other reason, the sleeve, you actually have to, if you are not going to be pleating the sleeve, you're actually going to be measuring it. You find out that for this armhole is a little bit smaller than the armhole that I have here on the sleeve. You can see it obviously is smaller. So these are some of the reasons. So when you have issues like this with your dress, the first thing you do is actually, because I've actually shaped it out initially, so now I'm going to be shaping it again to make it perfect. So when you're sewing your dress after coupling and you want to shape your perfect armhole, all you do is you take the dress like this, and then you fold into two like this, and then you measure the shoulder. Because of the allowance that we normally put, the 1 inch allowance, which obviously I trimmed off before, yet it was not perfect. So if I was doing this from the scratch, let me say that this sleeve is up to this point with the extra 1 inch allowance. What you do when you want to shape your armhole after coupling, you take your tape like this for the dress and you measure the shoulder. For the dress, actually this dress, the shoulder was actually supposed to be 17 inches. As you can see, it's actually supposed to be 17 inches, which is 7. So for dresses like this, I'm actually going to be reducing it now for the sake of this video. So I'll just reduce it to like 13, which is going to be 6.5. So I'll take it like this. You just take your chalk like this and you place your tape on the front part of the neck, and then you measure like this. You just roll it up, make sure it gets to the top, and then when you get to the top, you open it up back. You do it one side at a time. Open it back. You open it back. Most times what I normally do, I normally put a notch like this. I'll take it like this from the point where I want my shoulder measurement to be. I'll just put a notch like this. I'll just put a notch, a little notch, just notch it like this for the back and the front. You can see the back and the front has a notch now. Then I'll open it up and then measure these points like this from the notched point. From the notched point, you can see this is the notched point. I'll just measure it like this, and then I'll measure 9 inches. You can see it was not even up to 9 inches, so that's probably one of the reasons. So and then I'll measure my 9 inches. This is the 9 inches here. This is the 9 inches here. Then the next thing I'm going to be doing now, from this notched point, you remember this notched point that I did, I'll just make a perfect curve like this to join this point. And remember, the back part, I'm not going to be touching it because I'd already trimmed it off before. While I was making it initially, I'd already trimmed it off, so I'm not going to be touching it. So you may always make sure the back is 1 inch bigger than the front. The back should be 1 inch bigger than the front armhole. So with that, it's going to be perfect. So I'll just take my scissors like this. It is something that is really what I normally do for this point. This point, I'll just make a notch here, but I'll make sure don't dip it in, just make a little notch, and then you take your scissors. You can see the notch that I made, and then you cut it off. You just trim it off from this point like this. You trim it off. You can see the back. Then for this point, remember the little notch I made, you just come like this with your scissors, just trim it off a bit. You trim it off a bit. You just trim it off like this, and then you can see the back, and then you see the front. Then for this point, you just cut it off like this, and make sure that you can see the back, and then you see the front part is dipped inner more than the back. Is in more than the back. So I'll do the same thing with this side. Remember, from my notched point, that was why I said you make the notch on it, so for you to know where your shoulder measurement actually lies. This is the notch point. So I'll just take my tape like this. I'll take my tape like this again, and then measure, like I said, 9 inches again. You see, this is 9 inches. This is 9 inches, and then make a curve from this notch point. From this notch point, you can see, just make a notch on the side. It should be 1 inch lesser than the back part. So just open it like this. I'll take my scissors and then just notch from the top. Don't cut this back piece, just from the front part like this, just a little bit like this. Like I said, for this point, you take your scissors like this and then notch a bit, but make sure, please, your scissors should not go in. You can see the little notch I made here, and then you just trim it off like this. You can see both the, you can see the armhole. You can see the back is a little bit bigger than the front. Then the next thing I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to be measuring. I'll measure and then measure my sleeve. So I'll just take my tape like this and place on top, and then trim this part off, and then just take it like this. And then when you want to measure, you pull the back and the front together, and then you measure. I've been doing this and it has been working for me. It has been giving me perfect armhole. You can see at the end of the day, I have 10 inches. At the end of the day, I have 10 inches. But you know that I actually did not measure it at 10 inches. I did not. I did 9. So because of the trimming at the end, you have 10 inches. With that, you'll be able to, your armhole will be so perfect that you'll be able to raise your hands. You can do whatever you want to do. You don't have any problem raising your hands up. So that's it. So that's that. I have 10 inches. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now, for the sleeve, I'm going to be measuring it. You make sure, unless you're going to be pleating, if you're actually going to be pleating your sleeve, this is a pencil sleeve. I think I have a video of a pencil sleeve on my channel. If you're actually going to be pleating it, then you can make it a little bit longer. You can make it a little bit longer than the 10 inch that we have here. Always make sure you measure your after trimming your armhole, after the shaping, make sure you measure it before you cut your sleeve, so that will help you to make it fit perfectly. So for this one, if I'm actually not going to be pleating it, like you can see this one that I'm putting on now, there's no pleat on it, it's just straight. So with this, if you're making this kind of pencil sleeve, you make sure that what you're going to be getting here is actually going to be 10 inches. Like I measured 10 inches, you make sure it's going to be 10 inches. With that, you will not run into any problem. That means I'm going to be stopping it here. So for that, you just take your tape like this, and then you measure. If I'm actually going to be trimming from the top, that means I have to reshape my armhole again, like this, something like this. So this is how you shape. These things are just, you just have to use your discretion and you'll be able to make them. So I'll measure it and make sure it's 10 inches. I came down by 1 inch, so it's still more than 10 inch. So because it's still more than 10 inch, like I said, if you are not going to be pleating it, you make sure it is 10 inch. But for this, I actually want to pleat it, so I'm going to be leaving it. I'm going to be trimming this part off. I'll actually trim off this part. Let me make another line in case I don't want to trim it, how the shape is going to be looking like. So you measure from this point like this. So this is 10 inch. I'm just using this to determine where to start my curve from. So that is why I'm using this point. That is why I measured from here. You're actually supposed to start measuring from the top. So I'll come down. Initially, I came down 1 inch. So now I'll do 1.5 inch. So I'll just put it like this and then check it out first. So this is my 10 inch now. You can see my 10 inch. So I'm with half an inch allowance. So I'm going to be stopping it here. So with that, I'm coming down 1.5 a bit. So I'll just take it like this and then just so this is the second line. If I'm not going to be trimming it, if I'm not going to be, like I said, if I'm not going to be pleating it, it's going to be like this. It is actually going to be like this. The sleeve is going to be like this. But because I want to pleat it, so I don't want to cut it off, I'm going to be using that first one because I want to pleat it. I want it to have a little puff on top. I want it to have a little puff because, as you can see, this is a lace fabric. So that is why. So it's going to be like this. So these are some of the hacks. When you, like, there's a saying that they normally say that cloths don't used to spoil with a tailor. So when you find yourself in situations like this, you just think out what are the measures of doing this, and at the end of the day you get it. So like I said, I've pinned that part inside, so I have my 10 inches now. So this part is for if I'm actually not gonna be pleating it. So that's it. If I'm not gonna be pleating it, this is what I'm going to be having. But if I'm going to be pleating it, so by the time you put it like this, you come like this, you put it like this, when you couple it and you see, it's just going to be so perfect. See, so that's if I'm not going to be pleating it. But like I told you, I said I actually want to pleat it. So when you are pleating, you have to make it excess. You make it excess maybe with like 2 inch or 3 inch longer. So that is why I have this. So at the end of the day, I'll pleat it like this and I'll come back and show you. You see that the armhole is perfect. Why? Because the back part is bigger than the front part, and it is shaped down perfectly well. So that is it. So I'll just take it to my machine and couple it and then come back and show you. All right, welcome back, guys. Like as I was telling you, you can see like I was saying, the extra inch that I added to the top of the pencil sleeve, because I was not actually going to be because I was actually going to be pleating it. So that's the essence. So as you can see now, you can see my hand. I can raise up my hands perfectly well. You can see this one also. I can raise up my hands perfectly well. So you see, I can raise up my hands, unlike before initially that I actually could not raise up my hands. So you can see the puff. So that's it. So that's it. So you can just adjust your sleeve properly, and then so that's it. That is how you shape your armhole perfectly well. That is how you shape it perfectly well. So This is it. So if you actually like what I did with this video, like I said, please don't hesitate to hit on the like button. So if you're actually still having any problem regarding, actually this video was actually requested by someone. So if you're having any problem regarding sewing, you can actually drop a comment down on the comment section. Just scroll down and then you see where you can add a comment. You add your comment. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye bye and have a nice day.